All right, y'all, so today we've got a pretty hefty size thrift book unboxing. I want to jump right in and show you guys what I've got, but definitely check out my description for a referral code in which you receive one free book with a $30 purchase. So let's jump in. The first book we got here is The Lemonade Wars. This one is about a sibling rivalry that turns into a business competition. And I've heard this does a really good job at just teaching business principles. So I'm super excited for my kiddos to dive into this book. The next book I got was C.S. Lewis' Mere Christianity. My high schooler is going to be taking a redefining school class next year, reading through a lot of C.S. Lewis's books, one of which is Mere Christianity. And I have heard that this is a book that every believer needs to have read at least once. So I'm actually gonna be reading this right alongside him, and I'm super excited. And it says it has a lot of foundational truths in the Christian faith, so super excited to dive into this one. This book is Explorers Who Got Lost. Now this book's a fun factual dive into moments of history. So I'm sure my kids are gonna find it hilarious to see when those mistakes happened and how they happened and stuff like that. So got that one. Next book I got is a classic. It's Romeo and Juliet. This is gonna be for my high schooler to read next year. Now I gotta figure out how to teach history. I've gotta figure out how to teach Shakespeare. So if you guys have any ideas, that would be very helpful. It's broken up into very textbook style in here, so I hope that helps because I know this can be really hard to understand and read, even for me when I was in high school reading history or reading Shakespeare. Another Shakespearean book that we got is McBeth for my high schooler to read next year. Y'all, I'm gonna need some guidance, but Macbeth is another one. Another book I got that I'm super excited about. I don't know if we're gonna do this for next year or if we're gonna do this for the year after, or if we're gonna do this for the summer of 9th grade. But we got Economics for Everybody, Applying Biblical Principles to Work, Wealth, and the World by R.C. Sproul Jr. And this is for when we do economics in high school. And supposedly it teaches economics in a way that speaks on biblical stewardship, work, and wealth in a way that's easy to understand. So I'm excited to dive into this as well. Next book I got is The Kite Writer, and this is a historical fiction. This goes along with our history for next year, and this I got for my 6th grader and my 9th grader. So they usually have a range of different books that they can choose from for history reading, for their own independent reading. And so they choose whichever book that they want, and then they write a book report on it. Another one that's gonna go on their shelf to choose from for history next year is Secret of Andes. And this is about an Inca's boy who leaves home. So that's another book that they're going to get to choose from. And it's also a Newbery winner. The next book I got is The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's gonna be one of our read alouds for next year. It is one that comes highly recommended by my friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt. So I'm super excited to dive into it and see what it's all about. I'm planning on doing a monthly read aloud basket type thing, morning basket type thing, what's in our morning basket. Let me know if that would be something that would interest you guys, because in that I would be able to give you guys like a more in-depth review of what our family thought about these different read alouds. We have actually never read this book, and I am so excited to read it, probably around Christmas time. And this is a bear called Paddington, and it's funny and it's sweet and it's heartwarming. So I think that would just be such a good Christmas, like December holiday season read aloud for us. The next book I got is The Other Kitten. The basic description that I got from it is that it is a sweet-natured story about empathy. And a lot of our books next year are going to be focusing on empathy and compassion and gentleness and kindness and treating one another well. And I think this book goes right along with that theme for our home. The next book I got is The King's Fifth, and this is a book that's exploring early Spanish treasure hunting, and it is also a Newbery Honors winner. And so it's just one of those that is going to go in my 6th and 9th grades books of choices that they can choose to read from for next year. It's going along with our history. Next one I got is Super Grandpa. Now this is actually a fun, true story talking about perseverance and joy. Grandpa is racing, so I'm really excited to see what happens and how it turns out. Next book I got is Treasures of the Snow. It is about forgiveness and family, is the general theme of this book. And this is also going to go in my 6th and 9th graders readers selection for next year. The next book I got is to go right along with the C.S. Lewis books that my son is going to be reading next year for redefining school, and that is The Great Divorce. And this really goes through the eternal weight of our choices through allegory. It's also one that I haven't read that I am looking forward to reading alongside him. When Lightning Struck is the next book. Now this is about Martin Luther. Now I got another one about Martin Luther called Spy for the Night Riders. Now both of these are going to go in my 9th and 6th graders reader picks for next year. And it's just telling about Martin Luther's story. And so they can choose which one they would like to read. Those are like, especially when studying medieval times, they go really good with Reformation studies. Next book I got is How to Read the Bible for All It's Worth. This one is for me, and I hope to share it with my 9th grader as well. And it's just a solid resource for rightly dividing the word, genre by genre. So that's something that I'm looking into and learning more about. If you found any of these books interesting, or if you'd like to grab some of them, definitely check out the link in my description so that you can get that free book. And if you loved this video, definitely check out this next one.